Hey guys, it's Miss Miriam. I'm sorry that I can't be there with you today and tomorrow, but I will be back on Wednesday and I have left you in great hands. I'm sure he's already introduced himself to you, but this is Mr. Mark and he is going to go ahead and take over my class for these 2 days. So I want you guys to give him the utmost respect as he really works hard to help you guys through the first 2 days of geometry. So the first couple things I want you to know is that I expect you to be here the days that I'm not here because I've recorded videos for you of myself teaching your lessons, and so it is going to be me teaching. You're going to have notes to follow along. It's my voice, for good or for bad, but it's my voice and I'm going through the lessons exactly how I would if I was there. All right, so that's out of the way. Second thing is I want you to pull out your geometry syllabus, and I have it on my computer screen here so that if I look sideways, that's what I'm looking at. So I want you to know, first of all, welcome to geometry. Second of all is forget whatever you've heard about how hard geometry is or how easy it is or whatever. You guys haven't had me as a teacher in geometry before, so trust me that I'm going to do my very best to get you through the class. All right? So one of the things that I want you to think about as you're thinking about geometry is most of you have probably never learned geometry before or don't know very much about it, except maybe what people have tried to scare you with, but it's not scary, I promise. So you guys are going to be just fine, but I want you to kind of get in the mindset of the fact that you probably have never heard about these things before, and some of the concepts that we're going to talk about might be a little bit confusing. But I want you to stick it out with me, and I will work my very hardest to make sure that you are successful, but you got to give me some effort too, all right? So let's go through this syllabus real quick. You guys have the course description there. You can read through those 9 things if you would like to. That means we have 9 units to get through. However, units 8 and 9, we usually don't have a ton of time at the end of term to get through, so our goal is to get through 7 at least. If we can get through the first 7, we're in good shape. That means that you're going to have 7 tests. All right. Now, before you groan, what I mean by that is each test is only like 15 to 20 questions. So it's not like huge exams. And they come pretty quickly. So if you think about 7 tests in 8 weeks, that means you're going to have a test about once a week or so. Now, again, my tests only take about an hour for you actually to take them, so I like to refer to them more as quizzes. So you're going to have like 7 quizzes throughout the term. And I will always review with you. I'm not a big fan of pop quizzes because I'm not trying to scare you. I want to make sure that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're doing well and you're being successful in my class. So I'm not a huge fan of pop quizzes, so I will always let you know when we're going to have a quiz or a test. And I will make sure that you have the review that you need before we take those tests because I want you to be successful. That is my goal. My goal is for you to be successful and to leave my geometry class saying, you know, that wasn't so bad. Not a big deal. I can do this. All right? But again, you got to put in the effort to do that as well. Okay, so we're going to have our quizzes. You're not going to have a quiz this first week. We won't do a quiz till after I get back, and then we can have some time to work together and I figure out where you guys are at and where I need to help you more. Okay, so if you look down there, it says that you're going to get 2 geometry credits for this class. If there are any of you in the class that just say, hey, I just need 1 credit, we can talk about that when I get back on Wednesday, but you're going to get 2 geometry credits for this course. My goal for you guys as a class is that each student will have an 80% on your tests, on each test. Now, some of you may be thinking, Miss Miriam, you have never met me as a math student and 80% is not even realistic. Okay, but my goal, and your goal should be as well, to get an 80% on each test. So again, if you're studying, if you're doing the homework, if you're asking questions, if you're engaged in class, then you should be able to do well on my quizzes and tests. They're not trick things. I'm not trying to trick you. Again, I want you to be successful, okay? An overall class attendance to be 90% a week. I need you to really understand that geometry, if you miss a day, you're missing close to like 3 days in traditional public school if you miss 1 day with me. It is incredibly critical that you are here every single day. And those of you that think, well, I can just catch back up, that's a great idea, but the reality is that geometry builds on itself. And so if you're missing 1 day, you're going to be lost the next day when you come back. and then you're going to get frustrated, and then it's a snowball effect, all right? I'm not always available on Fridays. I have a lot of meetings that I have to do. If you want to come in on Fridays, it's from 10 to 12:30. That's the time that I have set aside, Mr. Brandon has set aside for teachers to be available for students from 10 to 12:30 every Friday. So I will do my best to be available during that time for you to come in and ask questions or make up work, but you need to be in class for sure, all right? You got 32 days to get through this, and trust me, you can ask other students that are sitting in your class that had me in Algebra 2 last term. If you miss a day with me, it's really hard to keep up with it, all right? So be here. It's a big deal. You got to be in my class, all right? Okay, attendance policy. You can read your attendance policy there. What that means overall is if you miss more than 4 days in my class over the 32 days, all right, so you have 4 days to do what you need to. If you already have doctor's appointments or court dates or whatever, you have 4 days to take care of that, and Fridays. If you are gone more than 4 days from my class, for every additional day that you are gone, you automatically lose 3 percentage points from your final grade. So if you're gone 5 days, that's an extra 3% off your final grade. And if your final grade is only a 62 in my class, a 60 is passing. If your grade's only a 62 in my class and you've missed 5 days, you're now at a 59 and you have to retake my class. So I'm telling you ahead of time, you have been warned, you know the reality of it. And the reason for that is I'm not trying to be mean, but you really have to be in my class. It's super important. I don't have time to go back and reteach you every single thing that you missed when you are taking more than your 4 days out, all right? And if you go to Ivy Tech or you go on to college, Ivy Tech's policy is if you miss more than 25% of class, you automatically fail the course. It doesn't matter what you miss for. If you miss more than 25% of the class, you fail the class, all right? So I know I'm not Ivy Tech, but most of you are getting ready to graduate and go into the workforce. And same thing at our job, three no-call, no-shows, you're fired, right? You gotta be in class, okay? So that being said, you all understand that after 4 absences, your grade automatically, your final grade at the end of the term automatically decreases by 3 percentage points for each additional absence, all right? So you know that going in. It's written there, you can read it. Even after 1 absence though, I'm probably gonna call you or text you or Facebook you or something and be like, hey, why aren't you in my class? Just because I'm concerned about you and I want you to know that I really am invested in you and I want you to be successful in my class. I think I've said that already. So I want you to be here, all right? And so if there's anything that I can do to help you get here or help you figure out a solution to your problem, that's what I want to do, okay? So the next page, you can flip your page over. It says students need to come with the following things. You need to have a pencil, obviously. Now, this is a math class, and most teachers don't care if you have pencil or pen. I do care because, especially in geometry, we're going to be drawing a lot, and I don't want scribbles on your paper because you're using a pen. So we're going to use pencils in my class. If you don't have a pencil, there's a box of pencils back by the sink back there. Feel free to get your own anytime that you need one. Don't even ask. Just go grab a pencil and sharpen it and then sit down. Also, there is paper back there on that cart, on that black cart back there. You can grab paper if you don't have any notebook paper. It does say a binder, but here's what I've decided to do. Because we're trying to conserve paper at school, I have created a binder for each one of you, and you should have that in front of you already. Please make sure that you take a Post-it note. Mr. Mark can hand you guys a Post-it sticker, and I want you to put your name on the sticker and then stick it on the inside cover. Let me show you. Okay, so here's my notebook. You're going to open it, stick it in this pocket right here. Okay, so put your name on it and stick it in this pocket so that I know whose binder is whose if I get one that's lost or something like that. All right? But this binder is for you to have in my classroom. If you will notice as you have flipped through it, there are plastic sheet covers. So in the plastic sheet covers is where all your homework assignments should go. Essentially what we're going to be doing is creating a textbook throughout the whole semester. So your textbook is you're going to be collecting homework assignments in the plastic sheets. You are not to write on any homework assignment unless I tell you that you can, all right? So it's like you're going to have a textbook in high school where you have your own paper and you're writing the problems out on your own paper based on what the worksheet says. The notes that I pass out are your own, and you will keep those. So your notes, you can definitely write on your notes because you're going to keep those. But the only thing that goes in the plastic sheets are homework assignments. Please don't put your notes in there because I don't have a ton of plastic sheets. All right, so homework goes in the plastic sheets so that we can create a textbook for upcoming geometry classes. But the notes are yours, and they are yours to keep in your binder as well. You can take your binder home with you, that's fine, as long as you bring it back. And here's the other thing that I need you to think about. I started this in Algebra 2 last term, and I had like 6 or 7 students who stopped coming to my class and didn't finish, and now I have lost 6 or 7 binders because they didn't turn them back in. If you know that you're going to drop my class for whatever reason, the situation, please try to get your binder back to me because we're paying for those. That's not for you to keep. All right, so can you please bring it back to me? All right, so you have a binder, you have what you need. The next thing, it says class norms. So what I'd like for you to do is I would like for Mr. Mark to pause the video once I get finished. But I want you to write down 2 different things that you are going to expect from your classmates and 2 different things that you're going to expect from me as your teacher. And I want you guys to talk about them in class. Mr. Mark's going to make a big post-it note so that I can read it when I get back for the things that you decided. So you're going to do the first 2 things, write expectations of you and your classmates for my class. The second 2 bullets, I want you to write 2 expectations that you have for me as your teacher. All right? So Mr. Mark, if you want to go ahead and pause the video, you guys take a few minutes to write those things down and then share out. All right, I can't wait to get back and see what you guys have come up with. I hope you didn't require, things like Miss Miriam bakes us cookies every Friday, because that's probably not going to happen. Although, I do enjoy a good round of buffalo chicken dip. Might have to bring that out this term for you guys, depending on how well we're doing in class, all right? I'm not above bribery with food as long as students are really working, all right? Okay, back to our syllabus. So you have the grading expectations there. You have my grading scale. A 60% is passing, period. All right, so I know that in some of the other classes like Algebra 1 and English 3 and 4, you have to have a 70 to move on. In geometry, I just need you to get a 60. Now again, the goal is for you guys to have about an 80%, but the reality is a 60% is passing, all right? All right, what I'd like you to do is go ahead first before you sign this. I want you to take out your cell phones. Yes, this is the only time I'm going to tell you to do that. Take out your cell phones, and I want you to put my office phone number listed there in your phone. Go ahead, now, do it. Because I don't ever want a student to tell me, Miss Miriam, I didn't know how to get a hold of you. That's why I didn't tell you I wasn't coming. Super frustrating for me to hear that because I'm giving you my phone number there. It is my office phone number. You cannot text it. All right, and then I want you to find me on Facebook. So when I get back on Wednesday, I expect to have a lot of friend requests on Facebook. Now, some of you don't want to add me on Facebook, and that's fine. But I will probably send you messages if I can't get a hold of you. Okay, we don't have to be friends. I'm not going to tell you what to post or not to post on your wall. That's your business. But I want you to find me so that a lot of times students have a quick Facebook, hey, I'm running late or whatever, and that's really helpful for me. Okay. My personal Facebook, I'm not going to add you, so please don't ask. You might find it might pop up when you type my name in, but if you put Miss Miriam like it's written here on your syllabus, you should find me. It's a picture of me and another lady that used to teach here at the Excel Center. All right, syllabus, all finished. I talked about your binders. Here's my policy for homework. So each day is going to look a little bit like this. We'll come in, we'll do like a beginning activity, and then after we do our beginning activity, we'll go over homework questions from the previous day. Then we will usually grade our homework. I understand that you guys are adults. You have lives outside of you. A lot of you have jobs or children or both that you do after you go from school. And so here's my policy for homework. I need you to try to get it done the day that I assign it. I also give plenty of time in class to work on homework. But the reality is you're not always going to get finished with your homework, okay? So if you can't get it finished outside of school, you can still turn it in late, but it's not late. It's only late if you turn it in after the test. So all homework assignments for Unit 1 are going to officially be due the day we take Unit 1 test. If you cannot turn anything in from Unit 1 after we take Unit 1 test. Now, each day we're going to grade homework, so I want you to have it done so that you can figure out if you're doing it right or wrong. But there are going to be days where maybe you didn't get all the way finished, and so you don't have your homework done. You can still turn it in for full credit before Unit 1 test. The reason for that is we're going to go pretty fast in this class, okay? And so if you at least are doing it at some point before Unit 1 test, then you're getting it done. And here's the other thing. If we grade it and you get like 15 out of 20, when I turn your paper back to you, you are always allowed and welcomed and encouraged to redo those 5 problems that you got wrong, turn those 5 problems back in for full credit. You can make homework corrections every single time that we have a homework assignment, all right? If you're going to make homework corrections, I want you to staple it to the back of the original, all right? And that way, turn the original back in so I can go back and grade it and see where you made your mistakes, grade the new fixes, and then I'll update your grade, all right? So any homework that you, again, don't do well on, you get like a 10 out of 20, or you only miss 1 even, you can still redo that 1 problem if you'd like to and turn it back in. With that being said, a student should never have less than a B homework average, ever, because I'm giving you a chance to redo your homework for full credit, all right? Please take that into note. I don't give extra credit, so don't ask me week 5 if you can do extra credit. I'm going to tell you, you probably should have been doing homework corrections along the way, all right? So know that. That being said, that's my homework policy, okay? All right, cell phones in my class. Listen, I already have taught geometry before. I'm not here for me, I'm here for you, okay? And when you're on your phone, it's really distracting to me, and it's distracting to your classmates. I don't know about you, but if I'm sitting next to someone that's on their phone the whole time, I'm going to be wondering, what are they tweeting about? What are they Facebooking about? What's going on? And then I'm going to be distracted, all right? So please don't have your cell phones out. If you need to take a phone call, you can quickly step out and come back in, but I want you to be active and engaged in my class. I'm not above asking you to put your phone on my desk. I've had to do that multiple times before in the past. Please, let's not get to that. I don't really want to call you out in front of the class. That's embarrassing for you. But I also don't want it to become a problem. So that being said, you understand my policy and my wishes, so I just would ask you to be respectful of that, okay? All right, I think I have covered everything that I need to as far as the syllabus is concerned. You guys, I'm excited about geometry. I know you're probably not, but that's okay because I'm excited and that's what's going to spill over into you. The cool thing is, I don't know if he told you or not, but Mr. Mark used to teach a little bit of geometry. So he's actually going to be helping us out today, which is great. I'm so excited for him to be there with you guys and to help you to answer any other questions that you might have that I'm not there for. So have a wonderful time today and tomorrow. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Please pay attention, get your homework done, take notes, be active, and you guys are going to do great, I promise. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.